attorney is charging the concrete testers with racketeering. So those 2 baseball stadiums will be delivered a little bit longer than you thought.
Oh, well, hopefully they'll demolish those instead of the old guys that we know and love.
You know what? I just had a thought. You know, I was bicycling up along 59th, and I saw the Time Warner Twin Towers, and I thought, wouldn't it be amazing if we had another terror attack and they brought those 2 twin towers down, and we had to have the control in Google, because I hear Google is now, the main offices is in Israel. And they've been taking down, YouTube has been taking down my shows. So this is something to think about, you know. We don't want more terror attacks.
They take my shows down, did they?
Yeah, but I don't know. I heard that the Greg Seaman, who's like a secretary of the Green Party, his emails are blocked. All this stuff he has on Cynthia McKinney, who's a legitimate candidate for the president, incidentally. You New Yorkers, I would encourage you guys to please vote for the Green Party, because that's the real party, real issues. Impeachment, 9/11 truth, bring our troops home now. I mean, we know Obama's going to be taking New York, so you might as well make an issue and vote for the Green Party. And as I said, as I understand, the Green Parties and their emails are not forwarded by Yahoo. There's some sort of control. No, there's a control mechanism going on.
Frank, when you vote for the Green Party, doesn't the Green Party get credit for that vote? So it can be on the ballot next time.
Right.
So
if you have 1,000 votes or 10,000 votes or 1 million votes for the Green Party, Obama's still going to win. But the Green Party and what it stands for, Rosa Clemente and Cynthia McKinney, God bless them, they'll certainly have their issues will be heard, hopefully.
One of my most favorite commenters was a soldier in Iraq. And he came on my Warren Cucurullo 9/11 and pornography. And I said, stay tuned for my shows on binary economics, because there are solutions. Solutions are out there, because we need capital ownership. Otherwise, Sarah Palin from Japan is always trying to distract.
Yeah, that suit cost $150,000, didn't it? Oh, my God.
Hello?
How much? Yes, a caller.
Hello?
Yes, hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, hey, how are you doing?
Yeah, good.
I just have a question for you guys.
What?
I give a wink.
Okay. Nori, stop yelling. Nori, stop yelling. Okay, I have a question.
Yeah.
I lived in Japan years ago.
Yeah.
Okay? Before the United States, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Before the United States placed by force a democracy in Japan,
Yeah.
MacArthur, which forced women to have rights, which forced land redistribution, which forced the vote.
Yeah.
Okay? This is the same thing that's happening in Iraq. It's happened in South Korea. It's happened in Germany. The United States has done this before. And let me ask you, now that the war is being won, you don't hear anything about it on the news anymore. What's wrong with, here's my question. Okay, if Bush had been assassinated, okay, people would have looked at this differently. They would have reflected. When you lose someone in your life, you reflect on what the person really meant in your life and what they really did in your life. You don't appreciate it while you have the person in your life, okay? 50 years from now, when Iraq is a thriving democracy, by the way, their election had 70% turnout. Our election had 35%, okay? Okay.
Thank you for that comment, but unfortunately that was 50 years ago. The World War II might have had a legitimate reason, but what's going on in Iraq now is not the legitimate, authentic democracy, the will of the Iraqi people. We want the foreign soldiers out and to run their ship their way and have the oil for their resources.
Sir, it's a little bit chaotic right now. Can you go to paulagloria.com and leave a comment there, or go youtube.com/paulagloria? I'm very interested. I don't quite understand your line of reasoning, and I want to. We want to create connections of empathy. Nonviolent communication is about hearing all of the different viewpoints.
Exactly, Paula. And also it's about diplomacy, not bombs. We have no business bombing Iraq or Afghanistan. We have to listen to those people and speak their language and respect the will, the majority consensus of what the will of those people want, and not force our agenda on them, even if it is pseudo-democracy. Right, Suzanne?
Right.
What do you have to say, Josh?
Well, I just got an email.
Is anybody expecting a call from Tony from England?
Oh, I say, Tony.
Yeah.
Pipe in, Tony. What have you got to say?
Yeah.
Hello. How are you? I wanted to talk a little bit about, you were talking about democracy in Japan and how it was formed. Good. I disagree a little bit on that.
Okay.
What I think happened.
You gotta turn your TV down, sir. You gotta turn your TV down.
Turn your TV down. Or his computer if he's calling from England. This is going out internationally.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Very well.
And bring down the music, Dean, please.
I disagree a little bit with your last caller. I want to say that I think the democracy in Japan was actually instituted by Howard Stern.
Baba Booey!
Well, I just got an email.
Wait a second, it's Josh's turn.
Got an email from Howard Stern, and it says
We have an email from Howard Stern.
it says that John McCain is interested in Joe the plumber because he believes that it'll help the women with their plumbing in the White House.
Do we need help with the plumbing in the White House?
Yeah. One thing about the White House, folks, is Jimmy Carter, an authentic Democrat, put solar panels in the White House, and then Bush and Reagan took out the solar panels. And if we would have followed the Carter agenda, we would have been global warming wouldn't be such an issue. We would have had lower levels of contamination because the 70s were really getting up to beat. And in socialist Europe, they already are up to speed with a sense of fearing what we're doing to the planet.
Now, Jimmy Carter's a real good guy. We love you, Jimmy, and we love the programs that you did building those houses for the poor, and you were out there doing it yourself. God bless guys like Jimmy Carter.
Right.
Yeah, and you know what? It's so sad that they held back the credit line from Jimmy Carter. You know, they held back all the banking money from him so that he couldn't go
build
with the homeowners.
Oh, yeah, Homes for Habitat. He would build homes for homeless people. He continues to do that.
No, I meant for the lower income people. All the money was held back.
Yeah, and then the George Bush and his son, the savings and loan scandal of, that was bailout back then, and they made off like bandits.
It's interesting that the Obama campaign never brings up that John McCain was involved in the SNL bailout. So pretty much they're all in bed with the same thing. Now, Tuesday, I'm going to have a very provocative show on Farther Down the Rabbit Hole.
Speaking of provocative, look at Sarah here.
We're going to have Larry Sinclair, who gave Obama a blowjob. He's going to talk about that. And it's a little bit frightening that it could be ushering in fascism. It could be the first step of containing that after they get rid of Obama, they're going to have a right reaction. I don't know if any caller out there can quite follow that. Stand by for Farther Down the Rabbit Hole next Tuesday, Election Day. I hope that MNN doesn't garble up the soundboards because it's a really hot show.
So for everybody out
you
there,
have to get the vote out, folks.
Yeah.
Well,
you're embarrassing me. I'm a conservative pornographer.
They're all pigs feeding from the same trough. Republican or Democrat are wings of the same party. It's a new world order. Since Clinton got in power, he bombed Baghdad. He privatized jails. Don't forget Janet Reno and the Oklahoma City bombing. And inside job. Clinton and Bush are pals, The Carter was the last authentic Democrat. Hopefully Obama's going to be a legitimate Democrat, pretend to play the war game, but then turn it around and play the peace game.
War. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing.
3 pieces here. 3 pieces.
Where war is absurd, 'cause we're free as a bird.
And the skies are not bombing away. Right on. Yeah. Well, I'm surrounded by sexy women tonight. I'm so happy. Happy Halloween, everybody. We're coming to you live from MNN Studios, New York. This is real journalism because we can call in and we can communicate and we can say what we want, uncensored and free. And that's the beauty of public access TV. Thank you, Dean Lauren and Gloria Messer and Michelle Daniels in the booth.
Between 10th and 11th Avenue.
Chinese Sarah Palin.
59th?
Japanese Sarah Palin. How is the first dude tonight?
Dude, winking.
The first dude, Todd. How's he doing tonight?
Winking hot. I can give to winking.
Wow.
Oh, no, you can see my butt.
Forget it. We're sexual animals. We can't help it. We like to be moral, spiritual, the truth seekers, but we can't help it. We all got this sexuality in us that's nonstop.
And butts.
Oh, speaking of butt, Suzanne, show us your butt, your patriotic butt. Come on, let's see it. Here's a patriotic butt, everyone. Look at this patriotic butt. You got a tight shot of it. It's great. It's for the troops. God bless you. Thank you.
And I'd like to.